Hello, Whine and Dollies time. Hello, hi, how are you? Hi, how's it going? Anyway, so I was gonna do Whine and Dollies, but I had to lock myself in my vehicle. I have small children in my house, and my house is extended family house, so I wish I could get these out more often. There's so much I want to talk about. I want to talk about not just Night, because today I'm going to talk about him, but I want to talk about all my dollies. Even though they're not all shelled yet, I don't know, maybe if I should tell them as I shell them. That way you can kind of like meet the dolly and then hear their story. But look at his little kitty ears. The AC's hitting him. Sorry, it's like hot out here. I live in Cali, so Cali is like super hot right now. Right meow, when you think, oh, we're in October, it should be like freezing cold, but it's not. Cali doesn't do that. We get like rain for winter and sometimes fog, but that's it. So no whine, just dollies, and I'm kind of whining about the kids being, loud and rowdy, and that's why I couldn't do this earlier. Anyways, I don't want to make this super, super long. I thought maybe I should tell Knight's story, but I can't really tell Knight's story until I tell, like, his parents' story. I guess you can kind of get his background. So, let me see. I haven't got it all figured out yet. I kind of want it to be, like, post-apocalyptic, like after an apocalypse happened, and that's, like, him at this age. But it all starts when he's younger. So let's start with his parents. I think we should tell a little about his parents, and then I can get more into him, because actually when he's like 2, one of my other characters is born. And so I don't know, I kind of don't want to get into her story yet. So I'm going to tell the story of Knight's parents, and then, maybe the next one I'll get more into the other characters and how they come together. Because I want to tell Toma's story. Toma is super, I'm excited to tell his story. Actually, I have Swans. I'll probably tag her in there. I have Swans working on his face up right now. I'm super, super excited. So let's get down and let's start talking about Night. So Knight's parents. His dad is like the hippie son of like a rich banker in Japan. And he wants his son to take over the business, but he's like a hippie. He's like, no, Dad, I want to save the environment, and I care about like not eating animals, and I want to do good for humankind. So his dad's like, well, no, I want you to take care of the business. And he's like, well, I'm a hippie, I don't want to do that. So he asked his dad for some money, and his dad's like, you know what, yeah, I'll let you kind of run this stuff. And then when you're done running this stuff, then, you kind of grew up and you know how to run a business, then I'll let you take over mine. So his father gives him money, and he starts organizations, and he starts like nonprofit organizations where he's helping like the needy, and he helps like cure diseases. Most of his money goes to cure diseases. That's like his big thing. Like he wants to help cure diseases. And that actually goes into stories, into my other characters. But we're talking about Night right now, his parents. So his dad's name is Ken. That's the name I gave his dad. And so Ken goes off, and he's starting these nonprofit organizations, which, they kind of have a profit because it starts with his dad. But, that kind of, you have to spend money to make money type thing. So one of the maids at the house, she goes up to Ken, and she's like, Master, I think it's awesome what you're doing, and please let me be a part of this. And so her name is, I forgot what I named her. Monoko, I think. Monoko is the name I gave her. So she starts helping him run these organizations, and through it all they end up falling in love. And so he tells his dad, like, yo, Dad, I fell in love with this maid, and I want, we're gonna get married. And his dad is like, you're not gonna marry a maid, like, that's ridiculous. We have money, you're gonna marry into money. I already have someone, planned out that I want you to marry. And he's like, no, Dad, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. I'm in love. And his dad's like, I don't care. She does not have money. So if he doesn't marry her, the other girl, then he kind of can't be a part of the family, is basically what his dad says. And so he's like, well, dang, that kind of sucks. So he's sitting there with this decision, like, do I marry the girl I'm in love with and chance losing, like, my father in the process? And I mean, because he's not really, the only concern with money he has is if he's gonna have enough to take care of, like, his organizations. So he's like, great, what do I do? And so he's kind of sitting on this. He hasn't told her yet. He hasn't told Monoko yet, because he's kind of like, I don't know how she's gonna feel. I don't really want to worry her anymore. I love everything she's doing for me. And so he's just kind of sitting on it. And it's crazy because she comes up to him and she's like, Ken, I'm pregnant. So he's like, well, decision's made. I'm going to do the right thing. I need to take care of my family. So he tells his dad, I'm not marrying the banker girl. I'm going to marry my maid. I'm going to marry her because we're going to have a child. And his dad is like, here, take my money and do what you need to do. Get rid of the child because you're going to do what I want. And he says, no, Dad, I'm not. I refuse to. So his dad goes and shuts down all his organizations and pretty much kicks him out of the house, fires Monoko. And so they don't really have anywhere to go. So his dad is friends with an American banker. And the American banker is like, well, I know here it's all about honor, but in America, that's not how we do things. In America, you take care of your children. So he tells Ken, you know, come stay with me. You guys can work off of me, work for my house, and that's how you guys can be, that's how you can live. You can pay for your staying here is by working for my house. So Ken and his wife, because they get married kind of like courthouse wedding, not really, anything big because they're pretty much broke now. So they go live with, they just call him Uncle. He's American. He's African American. So they go live with him, and he made all his money in America. So the bankers in Japan, they can't even touch him. There's like nobody in Japan that could touch him. He's like this top guy in America, and that's where he gets his money from, and he sells in America, and everything's America. He loved the culture, and he loved the people, so he moved to Japan, because that's, what his family was into, his wife. And so, while living there, she has Knight. She has her baby. And Knight's about, I want to say he's about 6 months old when Ken is like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm living up to my expectations. Like, I'm doing everything I can for my child and for my wife, but I feel like I want to do more for the country. I want to help people still. I still want to help people. So during that time, there's war. And so he's like, I'm going to join the military. I feel like I can help my country. I can do something for mankind. So Knight's father joins the military. He joins the army. I'm not sure what Japan has yet, but I'll figure that part out, and I'll get to that, because this is just kind of like a work in progress. This isn't really like, well, it's pretty legit in my head, but I have to figure out the culture more. I mean, most of the stuff I know is from anime and stuff, but anyway, he joins the military, and he's writing to her like I'd say like every 2 weeks she gets a letter from him saying, things are getting kind of rough here. I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of nervous, but I still feel like I'm doing the right thing. How's my son? Typical military letter. And then they get fewer. She gets them every 3 weeks. And then she starts to get them every, once a month. And then she doesn't hear anything. She doesn't hear anything for a while. And so, I mean, he's been in the service, went through boot camp. He's been stationed, overseas. And so she doesn't hear anything. And she gets this letter from him, and he's telling her, things are getting really rough out here. They're sending me out to the front lines. I don't know what's going to happen. But I love you guys, and I'll write to you as soon as I can. So Yeah, so months go by, she doesn't hear anything. And they hear this banging at the front door, and she's working, and about this time, Knight's like, he's almost a year old. So she hears this banging at the door, and then the other maids answer it, and it's Ken's father, and he's like, where is that woman? Where is she? So she goes to the door, and he just slaps her. He just like slaps her dead across the face, and she's standing there with her eyes like big, and she's just like, what just happened? And he's like, he throws this letter at her, and it's got like the military stamp on it, and he's like, because of you, I lost my son. I don't want anything to do with you or that child. And when I hold the funeral for him, you better not be there. You will not attend my son's funeral. So, like, she's devastated and heartbroken, and she's like, oh no, Ken's gone. Like, Ken is gone. They lost him. He died. So she doesn't attend the funeral. She waits like 3 days till after to go visit his grave. And Knight just learned to walk. So she walks up to the grave of her deceased husband, and it was just, there's just flowers, like there's so many flowers from all the people, and letters and teddy bears and candles from all the people that he helped. Just all over. There's so many on his grave that it goes over into the graves next to him, and it's just like, thank you for your help. You helped heal my children, and you helped save my family and feed my family. And there's just so many letters from all the people that he helped. And she looks at Knight and she says, your daddy was a hero. Your daddy was a hero. So that's where I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop right there, because she named him Knight with a K, K-N-I-G-H-T, like a knight, like knight in shining armor, like a hero, like his daddy. So I'm stopping the video here, because this is kind of like the background of his parents. His mom was a amazing woman, and she continued to live with the uncle and raise Knight. And before I can even get into the next phase of their life and their story, it'll introduce another character. So when I'm ready to bring her story in, because she should be coming home, because I actually bought her shell, so she should be coming home within the next couple of weeks. But I mean, I'll tell her story before then. The next Whine and Dollies, I'll definitely get into her story. So that's Knight's parents' story. It's kind of an introduction to my little melancholy boy. And the next character is why you'll see, like, everyone's life starts somewhere. His life is kind of sad and tragic that he lost his daddy, but his daddy was a hero. That's all he knows, is my daddy was a hero. And all he has is pictures that his mommy kept. And anyway, his background, he's pretty awesome. Knight's parents are amazing people. His dad especially.